This is Judge Joe Brown, and you're watching We All Be News TV, the
News-free Dixie.
News-free Dixie for the 21st century.
And see, you might find it strange. I would suggest if you get one of these DNA tests that you get several, because each of these entities that test is slanted in a different direction.
Okay. So you think they are trustworthy? In your opinion, these things are trustworthy?
Yeah, they're pretty trustworthy. Like, for example, Ancestry.com will hook you up with everybody that they've tested who is a genetic relative of yours.
Okay.
I found out I had 440 in the United States that they've tested that genetically proved to be related to me. Several of them I recognize.
Okay.
You might be surprised at what's in your family tree, and if any white people are listening, they can do that too. You might find that you've got quite a bit in your woodpile that identifies as black. Look at the Jeffersonian descendants through Sally Hemings.
Right.
We know that the matriarch, Sally, was a slave. Now, granted, they've discovered archaeologically that she had her little bedroom right outside Thomas Jefferson's bedroom and a little doorway through the side of the house to come directly in. But you still had an African ancestor. But they look white as your next door neighbor who's white.
Wow.
So is that small enough to count? And typically, too, the average white American has a very high percentage of African genes. They're treated as white. Some of them are skinheads, neo-Nazis.
Right.
But, you know, they don't realize their African genes come in from old Britain. From several of the Roman legions were recruited from Africa, and they were assigned the occupation of Britain. So they, you know, they didn't stint when it came to sleeping with the local Celtic women. So you're a white boy, you're an Anglo-Saxon, you got black genetics from the African legionnaires who left in 412 AD. You've got another influx coming in later on when Spain in the 1490s became unified, and they gave the Moors there the choice of converting to Catholicism or leaving. A lot of them converted to Catholic, but they became mercenaries, and they went with the Spanish armies to the Netherlands. Then when the Netherlands got into it with the English, they came over and reinforced the Irish and Scots. So you got black genetics coming in that way that bred back into the English population. And then in the 1740s, Britain abolished slavery. They had 1.5 million African slaves in Britain. They didn't deport them. So they dumped a whole lot of black genetics into the Anglo-Saxon gene pool that constitutes the good old boys in America. And then people slipped in the woodpile. Now, we talked about, Alex Haley and Roots. I got a little connection with him. One of my grandfathers practiced medicine with his grandfather up in Jackson, Tennessee. But he talked about his 10th generation ancestor, Kunta Kinte, and that dingbat slave wife that got half his foot cut off so he couldn't run anymore. Well, how many other ancestors did he leave out on his 10th generation? You've got 2 parents, 4 grandparents, 8 great-grandparents, 16 great-great, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512. You've got 1,024 ancestors on your 10th generation. That doesn't add them all up, but just on the 10th generation back, there were 1,024 people that were involved in the reverse pyramid that produced you. Now, maybe there was some inbreeding, but if there wasn't, you have 1,024 opportunities if you are a white person to have somebody colored slip in your wood pile.
Wow.
See where that's going?
Yes, sir.
Now let's go back to Barack Obama. Through his mother, it turns out that he's got some interesting blood relatives. Warren Buffett, the richest man in America. Dick Cheney, the sleaziest vice president we've had since Spiro Agnew with Tricky Dick Nixon. And you've got Brad Pitt, the actor, and Barack Obama are all blood relatives. So that's through Obama's Kansas white mama.
Mm.
And you come forward and you've got his daughters. So now they're also related to Warren Buffett, Dick Cheney, Brad Pitt et al., who all descend from a white indentured servant from France who was a Jacobite who fled religious oppression.
Wow.
So, you know, you got some slipped in your woodpile. Because Jacobite indentured servant basically is going to have a choice of dealing with some black servants from Africa too. So that might have been a little bit of slippage in that woodpile.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow.
Can't tell. So basically, the black-white issue is cultural and appearance. And there's the one block rule. What do you look like one block away in daylight? And you're told as Asian, white, Native American, Hindu, black, or Asian. You see, everybody in America but black folk fits into that one block rule. You can't tell what they are from one block away.
Mm-hmm.
Even if the black folk are pale enough, 9 times out of 10, their hair or their features will identify them if you get close enough. Of course, Asian features, Italian, Jewish, Irish features, Anglo features, they identify too, but they're more similar to each other because of the color context than they are to being black. So we enabled America's melting pot.
Mm-hmm. Well, Judge, I want to thank you once again for a stellar conversation. I know a lot of people are going to enjoy this conversation, and they look forward to the day you return on the small screen. And I'm sure you got a lot of great things on the way. The best is yet to come. In the words of Great Develton, we love you madly. Keep on producing and pushing.
Now, let me say something.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are looking, and I don't have that blue check.
Mm-hmm.
But Judge Joe Brown at Judge Joe Brown TV is the real me.
Mm-hmm.
All right? So that is me. You know, we follow each other, and you've got that link into We All Be TV.
Right.
So if anybody's listening to this one, the one that you get tweeting with my picture with the hat on, looking a lot younger, that is me.
Are you getting the blue check? Are you working on it, getting that blue check done? Or?
I don't have a website, and frankly, I need somebody to help me with that thing so I can get it. I've got so much else to do. That's one field of endeavor that I need to banish a whole lot of ignorance on so I can figure it out and get somebody to help me.
Oh, yeah, okay.
If you want to volunteer, brother, I'll be glad to take your call.
I got to see. I don't know the procedure, but I'll look it up and let you know if I could be of service. I'm more than willing to learn new stuff.
All right.